function. There we go. Okay, and we're going to do number 20. So yes, you guys can see this. Okay, so part A says we want to find f composed with g of 1. So the way I'm going to do this, this means we're going to find f of g of 1. So the first thing we need to do is we need to figure out, how do I find g of 1? So g of 1 is, that's my g, and let's see if I get something that looks a little bit more blue. And this one here is our f. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to when x is equal to 1, which is right here, and I'm going to go up to the function of g until I hit it. And when I go to the left, it looks like we're getting 3. So that just tells me that g of 1 is equal to 3. So now what we're going to do, we're going to find f of, well, g of 1 was the same thing as 3. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to the x-axis, and I'm going to go to when x is equal to 3, and which is right here, and I'm already hitting the f function, and our value here happens to be 0. Does that make sense for part A so far?
Yes.
Yeah, we're good? Okay, excellent. So let's go ahead and do part B. So part B says we're going to find g of f of 2. So just kind of like the way we do order of operations, when we have a whole bunch of parentheses, we got to work our way from the inside out. So we got to do f of 2. Okay, so I'm going to, let me get my eraser real quick. Okay, and I'm going to go to the x-axis when x is equal to 2, and I'm finding the f value. So I have to go down, and it looks like we hit -1. So now we're trying to find g of -1. So I'm going to come over here to the x-axis at -1, and if I want to hit the g function, I got to go down, and it looks like we hit -1 again. And then for part C, it says we're going to find g composed with g of 0. So we're going to find g of 0. So what I need to do first is I need to find g of 0. So I'm going to go over here to 0 on the x-axis, and I'm going to go up, and when we go up, we end up hitting the number 1. So we know that g of 0 is the same thing as 1. And now I'm going to go to when x equals 1, I'm going to go up, and we're hitting 3. And so g composed with g of 0 is equal to 3. Any other questions anyone might have?
No. That was
That was really the one that was bugging you?
yes.
Yeah, awesome. Good, good. Let's see. So was that, just because I don't see you guys, was that Elizabeth or was that Cassandra that had that question? I'm sorry.
Oh, it was Cassie.
Yes. Okay. Good, good, good. Let's see. Elizabeth, do you have any questions for me that you wanted to ask? I don't know if you can hear me or not. No, maybe not. So Cass, questions
Yes.
at all?
I only need the last question. I think it was 41.
Okay, yeah, let's pull up 41. Let's go through that one, and we'll see if we can't figure it out. So let me just scroll down to 41. So, okay, so this one here says, let's use Kramer's rule to solve the system of equations. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to pull up real quick is I'm going to pull up the formula sheet so that we can use that and figure out how to do this. So let me get this going here, and here we go. So let me go down to where we have, here we go. So this piece right here, let me see. I think, let's see if I can find it. Yes, this one here. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use this Kramer's rule business right here to do this problem. Okay, so A couple things we're going to have to find. We're going to have to find 3 determinants. And so I want you to notice, like, the way the equations are written. The A's are the numbers in front of the X's, the B's are the numbers in front of the Y's, and the C's are the constant terms, or the terms on the other side of the equal sign. So I'm going to use each of these formulas here to find my determinants. So let me stop sharing this, and let me come back and share the review again, and we can go ahead and do that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to find the D determinant. And the D determinant just says, we're just going to use those values right here. So this is going to be a 4, a 3, a 3, and a -8. And the way we find this determinant, we're going to multiply along the diagonal. So I'm going to multiply those. So 4 times -8 is a -32. And we're going to subtract those numbers being multiplied, -9. Again, I'm going to cross multiply. So 12 times -8 should be something like a negative, I'm going to say 96, minus 27. And I'm just going to grab my calculator real quick, like, and say, what is, let's see, -96 minus 27 is 123 with a negative. And we need to find one more. We need to find dy. And so in finding dy, what we're going to do is we're going to leave these numbers the same. So in my first column, I'll still have my 4 and my 3, but then those numbers are going to go in my second column. So this will be my 12 and my 9. And again, I'm going to cross multiply, or multiply along the diagonal, I should say. 4 times 9 is 36, minus 3 times 12 is also 36, so that's going to give me 0. And so the formula says the way we're going to find our x value is we're going to take the dx number and divide it by d. And the way we're going to find our y value is we're going to take the dy number and divide it by d. So the dx number we came up with was a -123 over a -41. That should just give me +3. The dy number we came up with was 0 over -41 is still 0. And so our solution is my ordered pair. Remember, every point is going to be written in the form x and y. And so the x number was 3 and the y number was 0. Did that make sense for number 41?
Yes.
Yeah.
I also had the question. It's the same thing, but just different problem, like different numbers. Mine was
Okay, so you know,
3x.
let me do it. Yeah,
Yes.
tell me the equation and we'll write it down right here.
Okay. It's 3x plus 5y
Uh-huh.
Equals 19.
19, good.
5x minus 7y
Okay,
equals 1.
equals 1. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and here. Let's do this one here. So remember, we're going to find the D matrix, right? The determinant. So the D determinant, we're going to use, let's see, we're going to use these here. So I'm going to leave this as 3 and 5 and 5 and a -7. And we're going to go ahead and multiply along the diagonal. So let's see, 3 times -3 give me a -21 minus, multiply those numbers there. 5 times 5 is 25. So that should be something like -46. And then the dx number for yours are going to be, let's see, we're going to leave these numbers. This will still be 3 and 5, but now we're going to replace the y numbers, or the second column will be 19 and 1. And so again, I'm still going to go along the diagonal. So 3 times 1 is 3, minus, let's see, 5 times 19 should be something like 95.
Yes.
And that's going to give me a negative 92. And then, let's see. And then we're going to find the dy determinant. So let's see. So the y numbers will stay where they are. So this will still stay a 5 and a negative 7. But these numbers will go in the first column, the 19 and the 1. And so again, we're going to multiply along the diagonal. So 19 times negative 7 is a negative 133 minus 5, which should be negative 138. And so when we're going to find the x value, remember, we're going to take the dx number and divide it by d. So dx was a negative 92 over a negative 46, and that should just give us a positive 2. And then the y number is going to be the dy number divided by d. So this will be a negative 138 over a negative 46. And it's probably going to be equal to a positive 3.
Yes.
And so our answer would be the point 2, 3.
I same answer, but I when I put in the answer, I switched them accidentally. So
Okay.
that's why I was kind of confused, because I got the same answer, but I just flipped them. So, and I noticed it has to be x and y.
Yeah, because see, if you're putting this, remember, this is the x number and this is the y number. But if you notice,
Yes.
look, yeah, we got that one here and that one here. So it needs to be in the 2, 3. Because remember, every point is always written in the form x and y, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I also had another question similar like that one. Because I got it wrong, so I had to do another similar question.
Sure.
It's, can you try I think it's the same top number but different bottom number. It's still the same one from number
Okay, same
41.
question, just with different numbers now?
It's 3x plus 5y
Uh-huh.
equals 8.
Okay.
And then it's 2x minus 7y
Uh-huh.
equals negative 5.
Negative 5. Perfect. Okay. So let's do it like we did before. Find the D determinant. So again, I'm going to take 3 and 2, 5 and a minus 7, and I'm going to go along the diagonals. So this is negative 21 minus 10, which is a negative 31. And then the dx matrix or determinant, we're going to leave the 3 and the 2 alone. And we're going to replace these numbers in the second column, 8 and a negative 5. And again, I'm going to go along the diagonal. That's going to give me a negative 15.
Oh, sir.
Yes.
On the, I think you messed up on the 2x. It's 5x.
Ah, okay. We'll fix that.
On the question, yeah.
Yeah. So this is a 5x minus 7.
Yes.
Okay. No problem. No problem. We'll fix it right here. So let me change this to a 5. So that changes this number here to a 25, and that now gives me a negative 46. Okay, and same thing over here. I'm going to change this to a 5. Okay, so that's still negative 15 minus now 40. and that is a negative 55. So let me just double check. It's 3x plus 5y equals 8, and 5x minus 7y equals negative 5.
Let me see. It's because I have them like right next to in the bottom. Let me.
Yeah.
3x plus 5. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I looked at the wrong question. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
It was right. It was 2x minus 7y equals negative 5.
Okay, so it is a 2x?
Yes, sorry.
It's okay. Let me go back here. Let's fix this to a 2. And let's fix this one here to a 2. So let's see. That's back to a 10, which does give me that minus 31. And let's see. Negative 15. Let's see. This is a minus 16. And that is also a negative 31. Negative 31. And then let's go ahead and do the dy determinant dy. So again, remember these numbers will stay 5 and negative 7. And these numbers here will go in the first column, 8 and minus 5. So when I go on my diagonal, 8 times negative 7 is a negative 56. Negative 56 minus a negative 25. So minus and minus becomes plus. So this is also going to give me a negative 31. And so when we find our x value, it's going to be dx over d, which will be negative 31 over negative 31, positive 1. And y is going to be dy over d, which is also negative 31 over negative 31, which is still 1. And so when I write my point in the form x and y, we should just get 1 comma 1.
That was the right answer when I plugged it in the wrong. I noticed what you did on dy. On mine, I messed up. I think I put 3 as A1 and then 8 as C1 and then 2 as A2 and then 5 as C2.
Yeah, so think about it this way. When it's let me just double check something. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm doing you the right way, because maybe I'm making a mistake here. It looks like I might be making a mistake. Oops. Let me double check. Yes, you know what? You're right. I'm making a mistake here. Okay. Yeah, that's my bad. So let me do this part again. Let me do this. I'll tell you what. I'm just going to do this part again because this was my mistake. And you know what? I don't know if I made that mistake earlier too, but maybe I did. And I'm going to apologize in advance. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So the dx, what we're doing when we're doing the dx, these values here are going to go where the x's used to be, right? So this is 8 and negative 5. The y's stay the same. That's right. Should have known that. And so this here is going to be negative 56 minus a negative 25. So I still got my negative 31 there. And then the dy, these should stay as 3 and 2. But here is where we have our 8 and negative 5. And so that gives me my negative 15 minus 16, which is a negative 31. Yeah, so you know what? I don't know if I did that. I don't know if I did that on the other one that you asked me about, but if I did, that's why those two values were switched, because maybe I put the wrong thing.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So like, did I do that here? Yeah, I did that here too, right? So yeah, that was my mistake here. I'm sorry about this. So this was my bad. let me clean this mess up. Let's see. Yeah. Oops. So my dx should be, this is where my 19 and 1 should go, and my 5 and -7 should go there. And then on my dy, let's see, my 3 and 5 should stay here, and my 19 and 1 should go there. And so this is going to give me that -133 minus 5, which was the -138. This is going to give me 3 minus 95, which was a -92. And so, yeah, that's my bad right here. This should be -138, 46, which is going to give us the 3. And then the y is going to be dy over d, which is -92 over -46, which is a +2. Right, that's why our answer should be the 3, 2.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know what? I might have made that same mistake up here as well. And actually, no, this one I did it. This one looks like I did it right. Yeah. Okay, this one I did right.
On the last one that you did,
down here.
So yes, that was the right answer. It was 1-1. I got a decimal for some reason, but I know the answer. It was
the same number. Did you get those same numbers? Did you get -31?
Yes, I got -31 d, and then I got dx -31, and then dy I got -1.
Okay, but did you have a -15, -16?
I only got 15 minus 16, and I think because
shouldn't we have a 3 and a -5?
Yes, and I noticed that I didn't put the -5 on the when I was multiplying.
Yeah. And that's all it was. That's why you came up with the decimal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys, y'all might have?
I actually had a question on number 16.
Number 16?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look.
Sir, that was the only questions I had. Is it possible if
Okay,
I could leave?
if you want to log off, yeah, if you want to log off, you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
Thanks for coming in, and let's see, this is Elizabeth now?
Yes.
Okay, Elizabeth, so let's do number 16. Let's see if we can't figure it out. And it says, the functions f and g are related by the given equation. Use the numerical representation of f to make a numerical representation of g. Okay, so here's my numerical representation of the function f. And now we're going to make one for g, right? So what I'm going to do here I'm going to make a table that's going to look something like this. F of x plus 1. Okay, so what I want to notice, or what I notice here, is when I'm looking at this part right here and it has an x plus 1, what this tells me is that we're moving everything to the left one space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these x values that I originally had, and if I'm moving to the left one space, those x values are going to get subtracted by 1. So now that's going to be 5, that's going to be 6, that'll be 7, 8, and 9. But because there is nothing on the outside over here, let me see. Because there's nothing on the outside over here, my y values aren't changing. So those numbers are going to stay as 16, 18, 20, 22, and 24. And so this would be my new answer, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to say, okay, which one looks like this? Doesn't D look like that? So D would be my answer there. Does that make sense how I did that one? Yeah, are we okay? Let me see. I can't hear you very well, so I'm trying to make sure I can hear you.
Yes, I understood now.
Good. Perfect. Okay.
I also had a question for number
Yes, sure. Tell me which one.
4.
Number 4. Okay, yeah, definitely.
No, 24.
Oh, 24. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's take a look at number 24. Let's see. 24. Okay. So 24 says factor f of x into linear factors given that k is a 0 of f of x. Okay, so we're looking at this part right here. So guys, the way I'm going to go ahead and do this is I'm going to use synthetic division, and I'm going to put my numbers here. So we have a 2, we have a 5, a minus 73, and a 120. And because they gave it to us, because they've given us the 0 in the form k equals, then we know that we don't have to change the sign. It's been changed for us. We'll leave it as a 3. And so again, remember, my first step is to bring this number down. So we're going to have a 2 here, and we're going to multiply. So 3 times 2 is 6. We're going to add down. That's going to give me an 11. 3 times 11 is 33. We're going to add down. That's going to give me a negative 40. We're going to multiply again. That's going to give me a negative 120. And there's my remainder of 0, which is good. We should be getting 0 because it told us that it was a 0 of the function. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these numbers here to rewrite the rest of my polynomial. So now we have a 2x squared, a plus 11x, and a minus 40. And what I want to do here is I want to factor this one out. So I'm going to factor it by multiplying 2 times negative 40. That's going to give me a negative 80. And I'm going to look for numbers that multiply to negative 80, but if I were to add them together, I would get an 11. So let's see. Well, we can try negative 8 and 10, but that's not going to work. I might try negative 4 and 20, and that's not going to work. What about a negative 5 and a 16? If I use these numbers here, they multiply to negative 80, and when I add them together, I get my 11. So now I can rewrite this as 2x squared minus 5x plus 16x minus 40. I'm going to put a box around these two guys, and we can factor out an x. So I can take out that, and we have a 2x minus 5. And if I circle these two, we can probably factor out an 8. and we're left with 2x minus 5. So here's one factor, 2x minus 5. And then my other factor is x plus 8. And then my third factor, since they told us that k was equal to 3, that means that x is equal to 3. The factor that I have is going to be a minus 3. And so this is my answer in my factored form. Does that seem to be okay?
Yes.
Yeah, we're good there?
Yes.
Good, good.
That was the only question I had.
Any questions you all have?
That was it, sir.
That's it?
Yes.
Okay, anyone else? Anything else y'all might have? No? No, we're good? Okay, well then, so again, just a reminder, make sure y'all sign up for the test. I think we have it Wednesday morning and Thursday night. And you know, guys, I'm testing every day this week because I have 4 classes, and just like I'm giving you guys 2 options, I'm giving all my 4 classes 2 options. So like tomorrow, 2 classes are taking, you know, one's taking in the morning, one at night. Same thing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I am going to be kind of busy, you know, with that. But if y'all have any questions, like between now and Wednesday or Thursday that you think of, you know, let me know. Send me a message on Remind, and you know, I'm happy to answer any questions y'all might have. Okay. So, excuse me, I'm trying not to sneeze. So if there's anything you can think of, let me know, and I'm happy to help you guys out, and I'll send something out. Okay. But if y'all don't have any other questions, I see George is here too. George, did you have any questions? I don't know if you did.
No, I'm good. I'm just wanted to see what others had questions, so I can do the work on the side just to get some extra practice in.
Yeah. No doubt, no doubt. We really, I don't know how long you've been in here, but I did a few questions. I did like 41. I did like 3 times because I messed up on it twice. So I went back and redid it, and we just answered a couple. But I think, you know, for the most part, I'm hoping that everybody's, you know, seems or feels good about the stuff. But like I said, if y'all, you know, have any questions or whatever, let me know, and I'm happy to answer them for you. Okay.
Okay.
So if y'all don't have any other questions, guys, I'll let y'all go. But if you can think of anything in the meantime, let me know, and I'm happy to help you out.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate your time.
Of course. Y'all have a good night, guys.
Likewise.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
Session.